What's good, everybody? It's JC here. We are back, and I got some news for you. We got count them, two updates for New World. One directly into the game. One PTR, buffs, nerfs, new content. Well, we'll find out. Let's jump into it. All right, first thing we're gonna talk about is the update 1.13. I got it up here on the screen for you guys. Let's read the general welcome. Greetings, adventurers. This week's update is focused on fixing issues that have arisen from January Mutary update. Our development team is continually working on improving the New World experience, and they thank you all for their patience and reports that you continue to make on the official forums. I mean, New World, we all know that everyone's active on Reddit, on the forums of New World, because there's so many bugs, there's so many controversies. I feel like there's so much wrong with the game that the developers sometimes don't know what to do. But they seem to have sifted through some of the crucial gameplay bugs, and they're going through it. I mean, they said that this whole month was going to be bug fixes. And they were just going to focus on bugs and no new content, sadly. Aww. I know it's sad. But they have made some updates. I know. Let's not get too excited. It's Amazon Game Studio after all. All right. We can't expect the world from them. So the first thing they did is they fixed this bug where if you dropped items really quick, sometimes it would disappear completely and then you couldn't pick them back up. And then one of the main things they did was increase the amount of gold you get from the berries, the juniper berries, depending. They made it based off of your level. As you can see, starting at 1 to 5 coins from 1 to 10. You got from 10 to 20, 5 to 15 coins. Let's hop up to 40, between 40, 49, 30 to 75. And then, maximum of 50 to 200 coins from the juniper berries that you get for doing tasks. They talk a little bit about the housing system, and they're trying to figure out the soaring issues so that way when they do the server merges, they won't have the big issue. They said they, have issues transferring houses, and that's the main issue why they're not merging servers. So they're still working on that. And one of the craziest things that we all expected, to log in Tuesday and to have, a new mutator, and there was no mutator. So here they talk about it right here. And they say they have absolutely no clue why it's not changing. So they're still looking into that. Nothing concrete other than looking into it. Let's see. All right. They also addressed that there was the bug where you salvage your item incorrectly when you're scrolling over it. Where it would select a different item when you hit salvage, and people will just loosen out on their items that weren't locked. I even heard, from a couple of friends that even if you did lock the weapon from salvage locking, if you did a lot of quick salvages in a row, sometimes it did let 1 or 2 through. So it's not like it's impossible. It has happened. So I don't know if they are aware of that or not. So weapon updates. Nerfs, buffs, they got both. Void Gauntlet, they reduced the cooldown on Mending Evasion, where it would reset your lowest active cooldown. Also, it'd reset whatever your lowest cooldown is. It would just reset that. And you got a Rapier bug fix, where the sheathing the rapier after triggering evade would result in the player getting a persistent movement speed buff, which is, it's pretty much a nerf. You get to used to get a passive speed buff by manipulating it, and now you don't. So I mean, I guess they fixed it in a way, but it's less power to the rapier. And I mean, the rapier doesn't really need it that much because it's really good at evading everything, getting distance between you and the enemy, blocking, using that riposte to stun, which I think is really buggy sometimes because sometimes that stun does not apply at all. or if you know the player it has attack input right before you're about to stun him, it somehow it still registers and still goes in. So that's what that's all they wrote right here. You got the Ice Gauntlet where, you know, I think it was the buff for the Ice Gauntlet Storm. People used to double cast it, and I think they adjusted it. Let's go to the second update for the PTR. That's going to be live on the PTR coming soon. Let's see. Greetings, adventurers. Eternum is an ever-evolving world, and as such, we continue our efforts in providing our players an assortment of ongoing new features, content, and changes. Similar to the activities leading up to our latest major update, we are approaching the release of our next large release. And we'd like to once again invite you all to participate in the next cycle of PTR. Alright, just let's see. Alright, weapon swapping. The one thing that everyone has been waiting for. Cue it. We've been waiting for this since release. There is such a big problem with weapon swapping. You go to swap your weapon, doesn't happen, gets canceled. You want to try to swap it again, doesn't happen, gets canceled. And so what they're doing is they are making it so that the earliest time that, you know, it can switch, it will switch. Exact wording. Oh, well, they're also going to make it so you can't, you know, animation cancel when you switch weapons. But we'll see if that's going to make it even, you know, if the weapon swapping speed is enough, or if it's going to actually be slower than swapping weapons, like doing the cancellation. So weapon swapping and attack actions can now be queued simultaneously. So if you press weapon swap during an attack recovery, then immediately press an ability key, the weapon will swap at the first swap cancel frame. Frame, mind you. Frame, not time. Frame. So that's really good. And then immediately perform the desired ability. That's good. Then we get you to do your abilities really quick. Dodging and blocking. We have shortened the length of recovery for all our dodges. So this is like what I was talking about, the action weapon cancellation, switching cancellation. Everyone's used to dodge. You can see right here in this this war. Well, it's not a war actually. This open world. You dodge and weapon switch so you don't get that little hesitation after you dodge. Because if you dodge and you don't press anything, he's just gonna dodge and your character does a little grunt like, what am I doing? So they are reducing that by 2 frames more. Okay. They fixed jumping where it's not going to give you the full, you know, dropping to your death animation from off of lower height objects. And then, so they're doing, okay, so they're doing balancing with, which I don't agree with, is, so they're adjusting the ice, like we said, the Ice Gauntlet, the Great Axe, Musket. They're pretty much nerfing the Great Axe again, which it makes no sense in a ranged mage combat meta. So you got Void Gauntlet, Void Ice, reigning supreme. You got Bow, the second most, like, I think it's the most consistent damage over time. You got Fire. All of them pushing out a lot of damage, and they don't have to be close to you. And if you're a melee character, you're losing out because you have to be right next to them to even hit them. And sometimes with your melee attacks, with the combos, you miss like half of your attacks. Whereas, you know, Void Gauntlet, Ice, you're just kiting the whole time. Musket, you're kiting the whole time. Fire, you're kiting. Everyone has that gap closer, and, you know, until they buff that charge on the Great Axe again, the Great Axe players are going to be at a disadvantage forever. Honestly, unless it's like a group activity like Outpost Rush, War, or, you know, Invasion if you want doing the PvE. So they're changing on the Musket, stopping power, sticking bomb, and shooter stance. Hopefully it's really good. Let's check that out. Since I'm a Musket player. Great Axe reworked the gravity well. Alright, let's see. PvE, we're introducing a new PvE player versus AI physics collider solution that will significantly reduce the amount of pushback from simple shaped creatures. So, all the pushback you get from like walking into creatures and everything, I think they're adjusting that so you're not like you're not like your movement's not affected by walking into an enemy or around an enemy or trying to get around it. And they're doing some really big changes to OPR. So with OPR now, it's no longer about who heals the most and who has the most kills. So now all the big time damage dealers that weren't getting the kill shots, they're going to be on top of the tier because it says right here, dealing damage now increases player scores. So many times I'm in OPR and I'm doing a lot of damage with the musket, assist, and you just don't rack up the same points as the people like the healers or the melee that are already in the middle and the gauntlet. So they're reducing the amount of points getting from kills. They're reducing the points from killing enemy AI, and they're also now they're adding faction points, and you'll be able to get more items from the caches that you get from winning or participating in OPR. And also they increase the watermark rate on those caches as well, so you have more of a chance of increasing your watermark from the loot. I heard somewhere that they're actually going to add the Umbral Shards to the OPR rewards, which is it's a good thing because as of right now, the only way you can get Umbral Shards is by doing mutations, and if you're not a dungeon guy, you really hating the game right now because you gotta be running the dungeons for you to upgrade your gear. You playing PvP all the time, you're getting killed by that guy that has over 600 gear score, and you're gonna think that that's what it is. You think that you're losing because of the gear score, and you're gonna have to do the dungeons, which you really don't like to do a lot of time. But when it comes to New World, a lot of what factors in winning, in PvP is pretty much individual skill. I mean, the damage comes second. Being able to assess the situation, kite, use your abilities at the right time is pretty much what I know to be like, the dueling in the close open world PvP, what makes the difference in that. Alright. So actually they're reducing the trade skill XP leveling requirements by 10% for Arcana, Armoring, Engineering, Furnishing, Jewel Crafting, and Weaponsmithing. So this is good news for everyone that wants to get their crafting up. It's going to be less grindy. And then they're adding actually a whole new channel in the chat just for trading, so you're not in global saying, oh, willing to sell, willing to buy the same exact item over and over and over and over and over and over and over. We all know that one guy that's trying to sell the Ring of the Century. It's on every server. I guarantee you every server has someone trying to sell the same damn Ring of the Century. You gotta chill, dude. Not everyone wants to tank, all right? We don't want to sit there aimlessly, do no damage. Not everyone's tanking, so you don't have to keep posting. What would we like in the future from New World? What kind of content are we looking to get? From many people are looking for mounts. Some people don't like the exhaust system. They want it removed, or they want it to like pretty much not only be a factor when crafting or anything like that. I know me personally, I would like actually more loot. Honestly, more diversity in loot and abilities from loot, passive abilities. Like in other games where you get named items or set items that are different from other different color items. So we got the, the gray, the green, the blue, the purple, the orange items in the game. Like in Diablo for Existence, you got the green set items where if you have every single piece of the item, depending on how many pieces of the set that you have, you get a passive, buff or an aura or, AoE damage or something that will spice up the game, give you a different like kind of build. They don't have to release like a whole lot or game breaking types of ones, fair. They give you edges in certain situations. I think that would be a great addition to the PvP and PvE aspect of the game. I think it's a great idea. Another update we're looking forward to is the new weapons. Everyone's looking for the greatsword. We're not hearing a whole lot about it, but the only thing we know that is actually coming for sure are the pistols. What are they called again? So the pistols are gonna be called the blunderbuss. I'm imagining it's gonna be like the pirate that has the double pistols, where you're gonna be able to rapid shot, get a powered up shot. It's pretty much. I'm pretty sure they're gonna copy paste that, like how they pretty much copy paste everything in this game. Like I don't know if you guys have noticed, all the mobs in the game are pretty much copy paste, and you only have like I want to say 8 or 9 different enemy types. So just different skins, and they all have the same abilities, same attacks. So it leads me to another thing that I wish they would do is add more diversity when it comes to mobs. Like put more into it, put a little more effort, make the fighting a little bit more involved than just the brainless same attacks that the enemies do have. It kind of makes the game a little boring when you have to, like, especially with the dungeon mutations. It's pretty much the same exact thing, other than you're gonna have some AoE under you, arcane damage or void damage or fire damage or whatever mutation they're gonna add next. You're pretty much just fighting the same old dungeon, the same attacks, the same things that happen all the time, other than you have to watch out for some AoE damage. I mean, come on. Even when I played the Division, the mutations for the dungeons, they made the enemies beefy. They made it beefy where you had to single out, everyone in your team had to attack the same enemy, do certain things to the enemy to get it down, to cut down its health. They made the expeditions longer, but which brings me to another thing, length. So you're sitting there farming out your Umbra shards. Let's say 35 minutes at best time run to run a dungeon, and you getting so many shards. Now, if you want to get some shards not doing dungeon, you're gonna be doing them on OPR. And dude, some OPR games go 45 minutes. Imagine going 45 minutes and getting 50 Umbral shards out of 45 minutes. That is unreal. Imagine the amount of grinding you're gonna have to do to upgrade your gear. Dude, people aren't gonna do it. They're gonna log in. They're gonna play a couple games of OPR. They're gonna be like, dude, I've been playing for 2.5 hours, and I only got 250 Umbral shards, and it like costs probably like 900 to upgrade my weapon. They're not gonna feel that's worth. Imagine playing 4 days just to upgrade one weapon. I think it's gonna piss a lot of people off, and it's gonna be a lot of people gonna take hiatus again until this new content. There's only so much bug fixing you can do without adding any real improvements to the game before anyone starts to drift off again. We're already low as it is with player count. So that's what it is. That's my input. Great bug fixes. We'll see what the adjustments are to the weapons, and we'll see what happens in the future. Hopefully, they're rolling out these fixes quick, so we can see more than one, like at least one a week, if not more. And I'll update you as we go. Any new content comes out, I'll be trying my best to get you guys the info for it. We'll do videos like this to lay out what the exact changes are. And look at that guy look at that bug. Look at that bug. The guy just fell through the level from being knocked. Like, what's going on? Like, the grass disappeared over there. He fell through the level. Who falls through the level when the grass disappears? I'm like, hello? There's no more grass. The ground's there. Nah. Going down to the core. All the way. What the heck, man? I mean, we all know bugs live underground, but that's too much. That's too literal. Amazon Games, you're taking things way too literal. All right, guys. Thanks for stopping by. As always, make sure you hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new, and if you're feeling generous, drop a share. I'll catch you guys next time there's an update, or next time I want to drop some really cool content. See you guys later.